Hello, and welcome back. As I am hard at work planning and preparing for the post 500 sub channel overhaul, I bid you welcome to a flash from the past. Last year, my wife and I took a short trip to Stockholm, which is where I unboxed this rather interesting Tissot Swissmatic V8. And that means that I've had this watch for over a year now. Well, almost over a year. This mechanical automatic offering from Tissot has the following specs. A stainless steel case with a 42.5mm diameter, a thickness of 12.7mm, and 22mm between the lugs. The movement is the Swissmatic caliber 12.5 with 19 joules and a 72-hour power reserve. The watch is water resistant up to 100 meters, but as usual, I wouldn't recommend you taking this anywhere near a body of water larger than a substantial puddle. The weight is a generous 188 grams. This was my first Tissot, and my first proper Swiss watch, and I bought it for two reasons. One was that I really liked the design, and the second reason we will get into a little bit later. The dial is black, the bezel is steel and isn't usable. It has a date function, which seems to be some sort of rule or Kantian law that all watches must have, but the second hand is where the interest lies here, with its lovely T design. T as in Tissot. You get a bracelet with a butterfly clasp, and here you can see the display caseback, which is a refreshing change from the usual NH35 shots in practically all of my videos. Tissot has some very quirky looking movements indeed, n'est-ce pas? So here it is on my 19cm, 7.48 inch, or 0.000944 furlong wrist. Here I ran into some problems. The bracelet was either too small or too big, so I would only recommend using the bracelet if you have a wrist without half inches. In fact, I switched the bracelet out for a sail strap when I got home, and much better. So, the watch looks good, is proprietary and Swiss, and after buying it, I used it so much I had to actively hide it in my drawer to give my other watches a chance. This was the only watch I used for 2 months straight. So, do I recommend it then? Well, I hate to break up the band here, but there are two issues. First of all, while the movement is very accurate indeed, it doesn't hack. You can perform the poor man's hack, but as you can see, the second hand jumps a bit, and setting the watch can be annoying if you aren't a surgeon who moonlights as a concert violinist. Next, we have the price. It retails for about $500 US, and that is a lot of your hard-earned money. And that is where I simply cannot recommend you folks getting one. I got mine secondhand for $150 US, and that is most definitely worth it. But $500? No. When you think about all the watches you have to say no to for that money, it gets a bit ridiculous. When you think of the copious amount of fun you can have with a seriously good microbrand for that money, it becomes a no-brainer. It is just too much money for a movement that bunny hops like this one. And it almost makes me a little bit angry. So, if you are on the fence, I would say no, don't do it. However, if you have found one secondhand for about $200 US, then I would say yes, go right ahead. Have a ball. Thank you all so much for watching. So happy you decided to tune in. I'm still Mr. Jacobson, and I still hope and wish for you to take care and rejoin the next adventure just around